There are Egyptian American Muslim women talking in my head, pretending to be outside. I want to just take a second so that it records, because the weapon that they're using, the telepathy technology that they're using would time out once it does a full investigation and a scan of basically everything. It'll time out on its own. And so they keep activating it so it continues to investigate, because these terrorists are trying to traffic me. And so I want to take a second because they're going to have to talk within the next few minutes again. It's like every second, literally. So it must have completed its investigation. I mean, long ago. So I'm going to place my phone down and allow it to record what I hear inside these four walls while these terrorist bitches are screaming in my fucking head, so that way I can post it, obviously, which you'll see when you see this. And it'll give whoever is interested in sentencing these terrorists to death, which I know so many are, to death. It'll give them enough evidence to provide when they go take a look at the records and they see how many times I posted these type of videos online, that these terrorists were obviously trying to manipulate these records, and they're serial killers, they're pedophiles, they're rapists, they're murderers, they're shoving drugs down people's throats. The list of shit that they've done goes on and on and on. These are serial killers, dude. I want those bitches sentenced to death. I'm not playing. They're in a house. They are not outside. They are committing crimes from inside their house, from behind a computer. They are inside their houses, not here in my condominium project or anywhere where I have lived. I just want to make that very clear. They are nowhere to be found, because then they'll be named suspects to a crime they're trying to, quote unquote, investigate. These are terrorists talking in my head. I want them sentenced to death. They're talking in my head and trying to pretend like their voice is coming from either my neighbor's place, their place of residence, or outside somewhere. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want them sentenced to fucking death. Do you hear me? The bitches are talking in my fucking head. They're murdering me and my daughter. I want those fucking bitches to die. people that have a much harder time running than I do. Okay, dropping like 40, 50, 60 pounds in a month. No, that's bull. Listen, sweetheart, I'm done talking. And then they do comparative studies over and over again because they want to come with a statistical significance to send you bitches to death. I'm done talking, bitches. I'm not fucking playing, honey. I swear to God, I'm done talking. You bitches are gonna fucking get. You bitches are gonna get the death penalty. He's trying to force words out of my mouth. I'm not fucking playing, Khan. You hear me? الزيهم. Okay, ولا أختك ولا عيالك. Okay, أنا ما بلعبش. سمع? You already know how as Christians we get down and we can. Okay, ما فيش حاجات كده. You fucking bitch, it is what it is. The terror's talking in my head. They've been talking. دول مصريين قاعدين يكلموا في راسي. Look, anyways, لما عايزين يكلموا بعض, okay, في منهم قاعدين في بيت تاني other than the ones that are sitting in my head. في more Egyptian American Muslims قاعدين في بيت, okay, بيعملوا كده في راس somebody else talking in their head, وبعدين هو يروح to post something وهو شبه حد وانا شبه حد ويعملوا like يلعبوا بحواجبي. They fucking like قاعدين to blow my face up or give me wrinkles ولا يعمل عشان أبقى شبه حد that they want to communicate to their other terrorists. That's where they're gonna to leave the messages ولا يعملوا حاجة ولا to this is the direction or this is the map or these are terrorists talking in my head. I want them sentenced to death. They use our faces, okay, to mimic other people's faces. They can play with the muscles in my face. I have said it over and over again. They are forcing my face to look a certain way so it resembles someone else so that when I post to this targeted individual community, that I look or resemble someone to give them, to pass on this message of who they want to communicate through or who the path that they're taking or whatever it is that they're doing. They're talking in my head. I want them sentenced to death. Now I have to get to work. I have my computer storage is so full. I can't download files. My head looks so weird. So let me show you. Laughing. And it's getting on my nerves. Because he's absolutely right. It looks weird. Okay, my forehead is long and he is playing with my eyes and I look angry and I look this and I look that and I look angry. They're murdering me and I look angry. I'm sick. I'm actually sick. They're talking in my head and making me dizzy. But anyways, my storage this is what my mind is on. My computer the storage is 100% full. I have 113 gigabytes of storage and I have used it all in the past 3 years. Let me see if I could get it from the angle that it looks really weird from. I can't. This camera is actually doing it justice. Can you believe that? Okay. Surprisingly. So anyways, like I was saying, and I actually want to get it from the angles that he's laughing at. Okay, so with that said, I want to do that. That's what I'm on. And I want to put together a few email templates that automatically respond to clients. Like, I just want to get this auto system going because I want to send out emails, I want to send out flyers, I want to send out, and when people respond to these, I want to understand chatbots. Like, I want to make my life easier. I want to bring in some money. And I'm not thinking about where they are or what they're doing, because it is simple for me. I make these videos, I sit and I will look into the mirror, and I will talk inside this. I will talk to what looks like me talking to myself in the mirror. Okay, so that when these records get deposited into whatever bank that they get deposited in, okay, that the US government then sees me talking and starts to understand that I am talking to the officials, they're like the big brothers or the police, right? That I'm leaving them this message that there are terrorists talking in my head, and they're trying to sound like they're coming from outside. And the more that I hear them, the more that I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually can manipulate the records to make it sound that way. So I freak out, and all I want to do is record to make sure it is clear as day. They are inside a house. They're not running around outside committing these crimes. Okay? And who they are and what they've done and how I came to the conclusion that they're Egyptian. They were saying they're Egyptian Coptic Orthodox Christians so that they can isolate me from them, or make me feel embarrassed to go tell them I'm schizophrenic, or to go to my community like, oh, all your friends are prettier than you, all your friends are doing better than you, all your friends are smarter. Like they keep, and it's like, this is crazy. Like, they want me embarrassed. So anyways, I need to work. I can't record them all day. So I'm putting this out there. I want them sentenced to death. I have like 30 minutes. There have been nights where I have let my phone record for 2-3 hours, and I post it, and I post, and I post, and I post, and I will post till the day I die. Because I want them sentenced to death. There's no way in hell these terrorists, they're not getting away with what they're doing. That's over my dead body. And she said, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Well, then what I'm trying to say is, well, yeah, they're not going to get away with it over my dead body. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So I don't care what anybody else, like, I'm to the point where it's like, there's nothing they can do to manipulate me. I am done talking. I want them sentenced to death. They're talking in my head. That is the facts. And they're in a house, and they are Egyptian American Muslims, and the women are the most filthiest of human beings I have ever heard in my life. They're serial killers. They said they murdered Mark and Jacob Iskander. They murdered David Basili, Daniel Atkins. And you know what? Sometimes when I see these kids' videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that kid's so cute, or he's so charming. And now that I know, like, the potential of this weapon that they're using, I'm like, oh my, like, I don't know. It might be that they're under the influence of this weapon, because they're just like super kids, like something that is, and not to say that there's anything impossible about it, but my reality is kind of distorted because of the potential of this weapon, and you don't know who's who. And these terrorists are sitting here playing games with people's minds, and literally committing crimes and framing people for it. So anyways, I gotta go. It's just, I do this every day, all day. I could do this. If I could record, have a security camera that would just deposit right into YouTube and just like keep going and until it's full, and then to just download into YouTube, I would. They're making me cross-eyed, like I'm posting it still. I want everybody to see, because anybody who knows about this weapon knows what its potential will do. So I want to make sure that they can see what it is they're doing. So any signs at all of anything weird, that they immediately, want to call off these, call them, their embassies or whoever is that argued on their behalf that they should have permissions to use this, to let them know that they need to pull their underdogs in and put a stop to these investigations and start to actually, and you know, what I would prefer. I mean, what I'm after is to have them investigated and sentenced to death. So, I mean, ultimately, that's what I was trying to say. Ultimately, have them sentenced to death. Anyways, I've been taking phentermine, trying to drop weight. I have dropped in like a month. And now the terrorists, and I just want to make this clear because I look a little fatter, but they make me swell too. So I'm holding on to water because of them. And not in my face though. Although my face does swell because they're trying to stretch the skin. They're damaging organs in my body. And then making my, whatever. So I've dropped plenty of weight, thought I'd get back on it, but they're like shoving food down my throat, choking me while I'm like suffocating me while I'm working out, while I'm running, making my muscles tighten up so that it's extremely difficult to get through an hour run, which I would do like that. Okay. If it wasn't for them. And I would have dropped the weight by now, but instead I'm gaining weight because they've made it so difficult for me. I still go in. I'm still making it clear this is part of my regimen. But they're trying to, like, they want to spin this bullshit and, like, I'm a drug addict, I'm this, I'm that. They're terrorist talking in my head. I want them sentenced to fucking death. They're playing with my brain activity. I want them sentenced to fucking death.